What's going on, y'all? Psych Perspectives, GeoFucks in the building. And I want to talk about what I believe needs to be enacted as a congressional, House bill, a policy. And I feel like this should be able to draw people from across aisles on this one, okay? Regardless of political affiliation, regardless if you're a Democrat or Republican, independent, conservative, liberal, libertarian, what have you. It should be able to draw across policies, across political ideologies. And that is, there needs to be a wage job transparency act. And what I mean by that is, have you noticed a lot of these jobs will post job postings letting you know that they're hiring, yet they never tell you what the hourly wage is, what the salaries are. And even if you get hired into that job with that company, that business, that organization, you don't even know what your other team members and colleagues are making. And it's always hush hush and quiet on what other salaries and wages are. And to me, that is so misleading, and it's basically a way to keep people divided and conquered, because you don't even know what the hourly wage or salary is. And a lot of people wouldn't even be applying for a lot of these jobs if they knew what the salary and wage was, right? Because being honest, if I would have known what my hourly wage was last year before I applied to this job, I probably wouldn't have applied. And that's just keeping it real. And I feel like a lot of companies and businesses do this, jobs do this, because number one, it is misleading. It's misleading. They'll sit up here and talk about what the job duties are, what the responsibilities of your job is. And then, like at my job, they'll sit up and talk about all the perks that you're supposedly getting. Yet, if you look at a lot of the perks, it's almost like they're advertising to children. And what I mean by that is, oh, we have a free gym. There's a basketball court. We have a video game room. You can play arcade games on your lunch break. Oh, we have free pop, water, and coffee. That's the type of stuff that they're advertising. You want to play the PS4 on your lunch break? Those are the perks. So again, 10, 15 years ago, I would have been like, oh my God. And 10 years ago, I would have been 17. 15 years ago, I would have been 12. So yes, as a child and a young teen and a late teenager, early adult, I would have been excited about having free pop at work. But as an adult with responsibilities and bills, I want to know what the hourly wage is, what the salary is. Is it a competitive wage? Is it a competitive pay? What's the 401k looking like? What's the pension looking like? What's my health insurance policy looking like? That's the type of stuff that as adults with responsibilities and bills want to know. Nobody wants to know if they can play the PS4 or the Xbox 360. Nobody wants to know if they can play, a ping pong and all this other stupid shit that has nothing to do with you being able to make a living. But those are the type of perks that are offered at a lot of these so-called millennial style jobs. Like I said in previous videos, millennials, Gen Zs, we need to grow up, okay? Some of us seriously need to grow up, because this makes no sense. This is the mess that y'all are arguing and fighting for, instead of a living wage so you can actually take care of yourself and your family. Y'all more concerned about, like I said before, trying to make work into some fun, happy place, instead of trying to make sure that you're getting a living wage so you can actually pay your bills, have money in the bank for savings, and still be able to do things here and there for yourself that you want to do. Like I said, grow the hell up. But like I said, I feel like Congress should introduce a bill. There should be a transparency job act so people can know, hey, jobs should be forced to post what their hourly wages are, what their salaries are, what's the commission, what's the pay. You should know these things before you even apply for the job, because that is so misleading. And then another thing that I don't understand, and I'm going there, is how we're working for large corporations that are coming. I mean, you got corporations, like I said, cashing in $10 billion a month, but sitting up paying their employees pennies on the dollar. Okay, again, how are we working for quote unquote corporate America, white collar America, doing technical work, and y'all sitting up making less than $15 an hour? And then you got people, like I said, you got down the road, literally like 5 to 10 minutes down the road from my job, there is a Burger King that is in need of shift leaders and shift managers, and they're paying Burger King employees $14 an hour. And then here we are at this corporate white collar business, and we're making $13 and $14 an hour, and we're doing technical work. And don't get me wrong, I'm saying this to make a point, but don't get me wrong. I believe regardless of your job title, your job field, your education level, I believe everybody should be paid a living wage, point blank, period. But I'm saying this to make a point, like, okay, if Burger King can pay their shift leaders $14 an hour, don't you think at a business that's clocking in $10 billion a month, you should be paying your employees way more than $14 an hour? That's what I'm saying. But again, at this particular place, they don't tell you what the hourly wages are, they don't tell you what the salaries are, and then once you've been hired and you're actually at the job, you don't even know what your other team members, aka colleagues, are even making, because everybody is making different pay, which is also misleading. Shouldn't we all be having similar pay if we're doing similar work? Why is it that some people are getting paid 16, 17, and then other people are being paid 13, 14? And then keep in mind, a lot of us are sitting up here with degrees, okay? People got associates, bachelors, masters, PhDs, certifications, years of experience, plus the education, and still 13, 14 an hour at a company that's clocking in $10 billion a month. Make it make sense is all I'm saying. Again, I feel like Congress, House, these politicians, they ain't doing shit but sitting up wasting time. Why don't they introduce bills that are actually going to help their constituents, aka the people that vote for their pathetic asses? Why don't you introduce a bill like that? Okay, a wage job transparency act, making it where these jobs have to post what the wages are, what the salaries are, what the compensation is. People should know these things before they apply. Because a lot of times you're wasting your time applying somewhere because you ain't finna make any real money. You finna be living paycheck to paycheck.